Oh man, I just want to be raw and real and authentic and just share that I would say I noticed intensely, it's hard to put this into words, there's been so much coming to my awareness about my deepest childhood wounds that keep me not feeling like I'm enough, that have me feeling like I'm unlovable, that tell me the lies that I am always going to be abandoned. I want to say, like, now that I'm a parent, like, I genuinely understand everything that happened to me as a child. But as a child, there were so many emotions that I experienced as an extrasensory, like feeling and tasting a room and hyper aware of everybody's moods and energies, and never quite being able to predict, what mood people were going to be in, and just kind of always being in constant fight or flight, mostly fight. It's so funny because so much of the pieces of my past are painful. I actively have to choose unconditional love and trust that everything that happened in my past, even though it was so freaking hard and heavy and traumatic, in the sense that there were so many emotions that I could not process. And my heart really guided me to share this because, in a weird way, I believe that being the first sign of the zodiac, that I am gifted the gifts of the cosmos, potentially first. And I just want to speak that for anybody with deep, intense wounding that came here with really intense stories, for really intense awakening and healing. Whew. I'm here. I know I'm not alone. And I'm just resting into this trust of the divine. About a month ago, I woke up one day and I recognized the heaviness in the atmosphere. I heard something about a solar flash. I'm very consciously aware that Saturn's in retrograde, which is governing, my understanding, I could be totally wrong because I'm not an astrologer, but governing the basic maturation of the individual and the collective. And then we have Chiron, which my bare minimum understanding is that it crosses the Earth in orbit about every 24,000 years, and it is encoded with the ability to heal our deepest wounds. It just feels so divine. And then to be aware of, 8/8, the peak of a time period that all ancient civilizations celebrated as like almost like a thinned veil, but in the essence of talking to God about what it is that you're really craving and your preference for what you would love to experience next. And sending praise as always. That combination, that trifecta. I was soaring, and then all of a sudden I was lowest of low. I woke up one day, I felt this heaviness in the air. I was on my way to go do breath work outside, and I think I checked my freaking phone. It always gets me. And I'm like, I'm gonna go do breath work outside. Check my phone, I got latched in, I felt my frequency drop, I was addicted to the phone, I was sitting in my bed, and before I knew it, I was experiencing all the pain in my body, and I was just sobbing and wounded that my ego believed me to be quite a conscious being on this path of unconditional love. And here I had this awakening that because of such a early trauma, emotions I couldn't process, that nobody could validate for me, I spent the majority of my life like very codependent, and like I couldn't even trust my own thoughts, because when I would attempt to express my feelings or emotions, I was always kind of invalidated. Oh, you're fine. No, I'm not. Like, so much energy, so much awareness. And, you know, I perceived that I had this very traumatic event, that I felt this loss of my innocence and really, really deep wounding. And I felt all at once that tonight, when I was like in my teen years, where before I about a month ago, I was feeling into like when I was around Evan's age, interestingly enough, how as Evan ages, just the interesting things that come up for me, what they reflect to me, and how I can see the mirror when I was that age. There's so much beauty and opportunity for healing, and I feel like it's been so intense for me with a month ago realizing for the first time ever that my love, my whole life was transactional. And like waking up for the first time, I'm 30, waking up for the first time that I didn't feel safe to really love unconditionally or accept unconditional love, or just love, period. I don't think I knew unconditional love until I met Will. And in those conditions, having more of a transactional relationship and needing to prove and be worthy and compete with my siblings, with other girls for like best friends in sports and school. And I always was like, screw that. And I became the rebel. It's just so interesting to ponder, and I'm just offering this vulnerable window because it's intense right now. And this is an inspiration of my heart that somebody can gain something from this. We are all connected. We are all one. I know that there's somebody out there that's experiencing this too. And my nervous system shakes like a rattlesnake, like literally, or a rabbit after it's, been in fight or flight and had to run away from a predator, and just like, okay, let me get that out of my system. I don't need to carry it in my body. And I don't remember the last time that I felt peace. I don't remember the last time like every cell in my body wasn't like, is everything okay? I'm like, we were put here as an extension of Creator to experience itself. Like I am a raindrop of Christ and Sophia, bringing back the feminine into the equation. There's so much in this world that has tapped us out of abundance and into lack, out of, co-creation and into sacrifice, out of trust and into shame. It's time to make the shift. Yeah, sometimes there's just no words, and there's no, the only way to move energy is to just move your body. Let it fly up is the best advice I have. I find myself when things are intense, I'm like, whoa, stay down here. It's not even conscious. It just happens. And then it's like this bubbling, brewing mess. I'm an extrasensory. Do you feel that? And then all of a sudden I encourage you to try it out. On that note of my light sensor going out, thank you for watching. Thank you for healing. Thank you for being. Thank you for witnessing. Go within. Dig deep. You got this. All my love, wishes, and blessings.